Hello, wonderful family. I don't see you all as my followers. I see you all as my family. Why I'm making this video is to encourage our people not to be ashamed if their English is not good. Because I saw a video of a young boy of let's say 10 years, and the Mr. Poster was asking him what has happened between him and the other girl. The boy wanted to explain what has happened in English, but he was stammering, and all of them started to laugh at the boy, whereby making him to feel ashamed. Then another Aboki boy was debating on the impact of the climate change, and the internet was celebrating him as intelligent boy. I would have celebrated the boy as an intelligent boy had it been that all those things he has said was in Hausa language, not in the so-called English language. This has to stop. In Africa today, we measure our intelligence by how good the level of our English is, and not the ability to invent and develop things that will solve our collective problems. And that must stop. We ended up electing illiterate English speakers as our leaders that must mismanage everything, because when they take the mic, when they speak, you see them speaking better English to confuse the people, and everybody will start to respect them and clap for them. Look at Tinubu. He removed subsidy and then want to borrow money for 8,000 palliative. This shows how dumb he is. What can 8,000 do to the so-called poor people? Buhari used trade money to steal billions. Now Tinubu and his gangs want to use palliative to steal. It is funny to see the level of damage done to ourselves. India adopted the British technology and even just launched 2,232 kilogram satellite, part of its Navik series, into space few days ago, and abandoned the British culture. While Nigeria adopted the British culture and abandoned their technology. What a generational error. Africa pick all manners of rubbish and send to the country. Even use bra, pants, or cloth that we can produce in Aba. Is this not madness? The one that pains me a lot is the fake drug. We need to kill anyone found importing fake drug. It doesn't matter any tribe you come from. Because fake drugs and fake drinks and other consumable food products are causing kidney problem. The kidney disease that we are experiencing is alarming. We cry there is no job when we are not creating job. Rather, the government are killing things that will create jobs, that will give the government more money, and go around begging the West for money. I'm against Western debt forgiveness. The West should not give any African country, a debt forgiveness anymore, even though those money are in their banks. The reason the West often give African people debt forgiveness is because there was no money or there was no loan at the first time. But even at that, take whatever they use as a collateral. If they default, we can't continue like this. We must reject whatever they throw at us and learn how to throw things back to them. Imagine, in the US, they address us as African American, Chinese Americans. Indigenous people are called Indian Americans. Then the Europeans are not European American, but Americans. They address themselves as white, and we accepted it, and that must stop. When I was doing my bachelor degree program at Anglo-American University in Prague, I wrote an article entitled "The Imposition of Language at the University" then. Because I fed French language twice with one of my British friends, who also fed French language for the fourth time. Then I instigated the plot to remove the French teacher, which I succeeded. I wrote a petition against the teacher because of one mistake he made by saying, "I hate English-speaking people" in the classroom. When one British guy, a British student, had asked him to explain something that he had said in English so that we could understand what he was saying. So for those of you writing me and saying I'm always against Simon Ekpa or IPOB, no, you are wrong. I'm not against what they are doing. I'm only against the approach they are taking. Because that approach cannot change anything or produce any visible results. Sit at home can only hold the state governors and the people. It will not hold the federal government, because federal government does not get their major revenue from the market. And the Igbo politicians, the governors, cannot influence the federal government to release Martin Nnamdi Kanu, because the federal government sees them as a palliative politicians. I don't believe in a media result that they are circulating on the internet. They need to study the mentality of the government and then know which of the approaches will be used to achieve a visible result. Understand me. I don't believe in too much talk, repeating of same thing every day, every year, and looking for a different result. So, on the issue of English, we need to abolish English language in our schools until the British government makes Igbo language and other African language a compulsory in their schools. Let us analyze this situation and ask ourselves if we are normal or if we are suffering from colonial mentality. When a French national cannot speak English, we respect him or her and see it as normal. When a Spanish man can't speak English, we respect him or her and see it as normal. When a Chinese man can't speak English, we respect him and see it as normal. When a Russian man cannot speak English, we respect him or her and see it as normal. When a Portuguese man cannot speak English, we respect him or her and see it as normal. Then come to Africa. When an African man or woman can speak correct English, majority of African considers him or her as a joke, as an illiterate, as a dumb and stupid person. We insult him or her and makes mockery of him or her. That's the level of psychological damage we have suffered as a people. We use English as a yardstick to measure the intelligence of our people, including children. In our school, if you can't speak English, if children cannot speak English, they were made to believe that they are stupid just because they cannot speak a borrowed language that is alien to our ancestral root. Africans refer to their language as vernacular. What a shame. Today I'm appealing to all Africa. Dear Africa, as a matter of agency, we need to put an end to this mental slavery. Teach your children their mother tongue and allow the locals to feel free in speaking their native language without any stigma or prejudice. Do not help the oppressors to extend their oppression. If you come across my post, please like and share widely to spread this message and enlighten other Africans. The people around you need to hear this. With a collective effort, we can be able to make progress in decolonizing ourselves. Thank you, my wonderful family.